taking this body off and boot it up with a hammer and straighten it out. And the corners on.
I'm going to put the water neck on this thing, start putting the radiator in, I need to zip tie some stuff. We gotta get to the carburetor and some stuff like that, get the drive shaft in. I don't know how far we'll make it today. Cameron's gonna pull the body off this side. It's kind of wrinkled up and there's some the edges of our interior bent down a little bit and it's kind of unfastened back there. We just need to kind of fix her up just a little bit. So here we go. These water necks, we run a threaded hose for our top. Hey, I'm talking here.
Sorry.
Anyways, it's got an O-ring on them. We only silicone them, just extra safe. Okay, so we fast forward a little bit. The radiator was way more of a pain than I'd planned on it being. It was about 5 times the amount of work what I anticipated. This fan shroud and radiator was actually what was previously in my car, and we pulled it out, put the one out of this in there. When we swapped a bunch of stuff, that radiator cooled a little better, a little easier for us. This one's just sitting here, so we're gonna throw it in. I'm trying not to take any more from that car than I have to. But it's mounted in the way it's gonna be. It's not full of water. I don't want to put water in it until we get a chance to flush the block out because it had quite a bit of crusty stuff in it that I just don't want going through this radiator. Pyle had scrubbed out the water ports as much as he could and sucked them out with a shop vac, and I'm sure it helped quite a bit, but there's just parts in there you can't reach, so I'd rather just give it a good flush. After we got that done, my cousin had come over to visit and he kind of helped me. We put spark plugs in this thing, we ran the plug wires, that kind of deal. I went ahead and zip tied down some lines, had to move some stuff around to get it all, make sure it's not rubbing anything bad. Got the carburetor on. Throttle linkage was a little hiccup because this is the carburetor I was running last, and the bushings were still in my car, so we had to go rob those out of the trailer too. Crimson had to climb up in the trailer over my car and unbolt that. It's in here, it's all hooked up, it's ready to rip. We got the fuel line from the pump to the carburetor. We robbed that from my car because I couldn't find what we needed for this. I know I keep saying I'm trying not to rob anything from that car that I don't have to, but when you're here and you're working and you're ready to get some stuff done, and you know there's one 50 feet away, it's hard not to just go grab that thing and stick it in here. So it is what it is. If we get a chance to put that car together, we'll figure it out when we get there. Right now, it's not looking like I'm gonna have to worry about that, so it's fine. This thing should be ready to fire off. My best calculations say it'll run, but we'll see about it. There was fuel still in the fuel line whenever I hooked the main line to the pump several days ago. It's probably not the best gas. I mean, it was 110, 112 octane, but it was set here for 2 years with it in there, so it can't be too good. The good thing about our little budget motor out of the bus here, it should, we ought to be able to run off of $3 a gallon gas down here in Casey's, just like what you put in your pickup. But so not having to buy $10 or $12 a gallon 110 or 112 octane, that's going to help us a lot this year. We'll probably try to siphon out whatever gas is in this fuel cell and just put some fresh pump gas in it. Get it full to our desired capacity to go race. Cameron got the body all off of this side. Him and Crimson came in here tonight and they stripped all the graphics off, most of the graphics off. We got some big open door spots. For the last few years we've had some really good sponsors. Some of the best sponsors I've ever had. One of them, M&T, they've been with us for 3 or 4 years. I worked for them for about 8 years, and they let me take my company truck and we'd go. We'd race at Flippin' almost every Friday night and West Plains every Saturday night. So we did a lot of hauling the race car with the company truck, and we really appreciate them. They paid cash on top of that too. It was the truck and a check, so one of my best deals I've ever had. We'd like to have them back. I need to give him a call, or one of the days whenever I'm up there and Jackson shooting the bull with him, I need to hit him up. And worst he can say is no. He's probably a no, but I can handle it now. I appreciate everything they've done. I don't take anything for granted that people help. KT Roofing, he told me at my dad's funeral that he'd like to still help me, just let him know whenever I was ready to do something. Our old business, Finish Line Printing, they were on this door, both doors. We took them off. I'm going to try to work something out with them. Maybe they could print the graphics off or help us out some way like that. When we had the store, that's what we did a lot for other racers. They'd put our logo on the car and we'd print their graphics for free. And a lot of times I got stuck putting them on. I don't really care for doing that, but certain people I don't mind doing it for, but I'd rather not. But anyways, that's not our business anymore. So, if they want to be on there, I'd like to have them on there. I'd love for them to succeed. That business was 5 years of our life, and I definitely don't want to see it fail. So I'm going to try to do everything I can to help them out. We sell sponsorships on our race cars anywhere from $250 to $5,000, just depending on what you want to do, how big, how small, whatever. How many locations on the car, what particular location on the car, big, small, whatever the case may be. In the past, we've usually been able to sell sponsorships a little bit higher because there's always going to be 2 cars out there. I've got a few good friends that I've asked, some of them have sponsored before, some of them haven't. There's some of them I haven't asked or haven't really had the courage to ask them. I hate asking, I don't want to ask. That was my dad was better at that end of it. I've never really liked that part. I've never had to do that part. There's a lot of things I'm having to do that, I've had to do a lot of things I'm not used to doing on my own. Don't be surprised if you get a text message from me saying, hey, you want to sponsor a race car this year? So I need to start hitting some guys up. It's a little late getting into that, but up until about 2 weeks ago, I didn't see any way we were going to race this year. So I hadn't really thought about it much. And then this kind of this idea come out of thin air. And here we are. We're, a couple good hard days away from having this thing ready to go to a racetrack somewhere. So like I said, I know times are just tough right now. Not everybody's got the extra money. I'm one of them. It's not been a good year so far, so I can't be sponsoring a whole lot of people either. So I'm going to try to sponsor one right here, and that's going to be pushing it as much as I can. So it's really good advertising. That's cheap. You can't get that kind of advertising that cheap doing anything else. But a $250 sponsor will buy you a tire. You get 4 of them. You got 4 new tires. That gets you through half a season. Given that you don't need stagger options or you don't have flats and that kind of thing, and that's going to happen. So you better have a backup plan for more than 4 tires. An oil change in this thing you can probably do for $50. About every 3 weeks, someone will change the oil. I'm bad about not staying on a regular maintenance program. But say if you change your oil every 3 weeks, a $250 sponsor will pay for 5 oil changes every 3 weeks. That's 15 races, and that's all we have on the schedule for West Plains this year. So one sponsor will pay for the oil changes for the year. So those little things, some people they say they want about a $250 sponsor. I know some people that ain't nothing, but to us that's quite a bit. And especially if you get a handful of them together, you're starting to do some things there, and it helps a bunch. Luckily, we don't have to drive very far to the racetrack here at home. If we had to go much further than that, then you start getting into fuel bills doing that. You're not hardly going to make, not at this level, the weekend warrior thing. This is just a hobby. If you can get as close as you can to breaking even, that's a win. You're out there having fun and breaking even. So That'd be awesome if we can maintain that. It's hard to make commitments to sponsors whenever you have to do stuff like this. I mean, we pulled a 70s model engine out of a bus that it only had 97,000 miles on it. It only had 600 miles on the last oil change. So we didn't even really have to drain the oil. We could have it just got serviced, you know, and then been parked here. So we could have run it, but we thought it'd be better not. But it's hard to make a commitment whenever you put everything you have into what you got right here. And this thing, I mean, when we fire it up and we're trying to time it in, we might blow it up on the jack stands in here or something crazy. Every little sponsor adds up. I don't care how big or small, they're all just as important. You need to do your best to, you know, represent them well. I feel like we do a good job of that. We blow up stuff on Facebook. We try to stay pretty public with whatever we've got going on. I really think sponsors that do want to come on with us from this point forward are getting extra bang for their buck with the whole YouTube thing going on. And kind of the way that got started out, my sister's husband, Corey, my brother-in-law, he found a race car. He decided he wanted to race this year. He found a car. We went to Quincy, Illinois. I went with him. We got it. And I went back up there one day and kind of went through the whole thing and reset it kind of to a more neutral setup. And then he ended up bringing it down here. We scaled it out the whole bit. And he's been doing really good in it for starting out. I mean, I think he could, he doesn't look like a beginner, I'll say that. So he's doing good. And he said that he was going to start a YouTube channel. And I kind of like, oh yeah, really? You know, and he's like, yeah, I want to just kind of help promote my sponsors and blah, blah, blah. And people, you know, and his family or friends or whatever, they can keep up with whatever he's doing, watching his videos. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And he's like, I know you won't do it, but I think it'd be cool to do. And somehow I between that and I don't know, got in my head and I'm like, well, maybe we could do something like that. And I wish I would have started a channel back, like 2011 or something, whenever I first started running a B-Mod, you know. And it'd be cool to be able to look back and see videos. And my kids would be able to get on there and watch stuff from back then. And my dad was always around, you know. I really want to get the kids, I want them to have the best opportunities they can have. So a YouTube video is, that seems to be the going thing. They really, man, they love racing so much. You know, it's funny, I've always thought after my dad was gone that I'd be able to get out of this, but they're hooked. I'm screwed. Weather has got really nice, so we've been kind of waiting for a good day. When it was raining, I didn't really want to unload my car. It's in my trailer. And all my extra shocks and springs are in ramp overs that are, you know, my car is on top of. So we gotta drag that thing out to be able to get all of our extra shocks and springs out to be able to put this thing on the ground, to roll it outside and start it up, yada yada. I know I said I would try to do better about not leaving you behind on stuff, but it's hard, you know, when you've done this your whole life, it's hard to come in here and remember to push record when you've never done that before. And I come in here and I might stay around and look at it for a minute and I kind of get a game plan together or whatever, but then I just jump in there and get after it, you know, and I don't even think about setting the phone up until it's too late. Or I'm in the middle of something and I'm like, man, there ain't no point now, you know. So I'm going to try to do better. A lot of it, you know, is just a fat guy standing there bolting stuff on a motor, so I don't think you really care about it. But, oh well. I'm going to try to do better, just like I always say. But we'll keep you up to date. Stay with us.